On Kingi, they have an MOU. Alfred Mutua, they have an MOU. Everybody wrote an MOU with President William Ruto. I and the people of the mountain, because we are very trusting people, we trusted President William Ruto, and we agreed to move in one party. We did not even form our own party to bargain with or to negotiate with him. We accepted him because we believed and trusted him. And we moved together on trust. And what we agreed is what we are proceeding on. So I have never asked the president for any written document or anything. I always take his word for it, because I'm trusting, so I also trust.
Do you regret that decision?
I don't regret the decision, but I have heard many of our supporters saying that it was an indiscretion on my part. I have not yet interrogated whether it was an indiscretion on my part or not. But many of our people, many of our supporters from the Mount Kenya region think that there was an indiscretion on my part. But I want to say I think I did the right thing, because trust is very important. And we gave President William our trust. We expect him to reciprocate that trust.
Okay.
And one of the ways for him to win our trust is to stop the humiliation of the debt.
Even as you move ahead to now manage the broad-based government, you're out of the president's diary, you're not getting communication on the events he's holding. How then do you even coordinate the cabinet committees yourself? Have you chaired the committees since the reconstitution of the cabinet?
No, I have not. I chair cabinet committees, and we used to have 6 cabinet committees. We have collapsed them into
Deputy President, I think
we had a cabinet meeting, I think, on Tuesday, and we agreed we have 2 committees, one on governance, we agreed we have production committees, one on governance, one committees, production, unless advised otherwise. And those committees have done the work that I've done for this country. Part of the work President done for I've held 35 cabinet committees. I've held 35 sworn in, and we have prosecuted.
You said how many?
35.
35
cabinet committees, and we have prosecuted 333 agenda items. And what those cabinet committees do, they are very, very thorough and very, very interactive and very, very exhaustive, because we even invite PSs, we invite CEOs, we invite technical people, and we do interrogate business of cabinet in a very comprehensive manner, so that by the time we go to the cabinet that is chaired by the president, more or less most of the issues have been agreed on, and the president gives his thinking and he gives his direction, and sometimes he agrees, sometimes he doesn't agree with us, and give it to him. Where he doesn't agree with us, he convinces us and we get convinced. And the president, in my view, did very well to set up the cabinet committees, because the president should be a consumer of finance, because he's a very, very busy person. And the kind of work we do here in cabinet committees, sometimes 6 to 7 hours, will be a bit heavy for the president because of his duties.
What is the reason
so we continue, and those cabinet committees have worked very well.
Okay.
And I am very, very, very clear that we'll continue to have the cabinet committees.
Right.
And we'll be able to look at the CAB memos that have come, and we'll be able to proceed to the cabinet for the final approval.
If they were that effective, were they being reduced from 6 to 2?
No, what happened is that there were 6, and then we were having issues of quorum. And sometimes one member would appear in 3, 4 committees. So it was becoming logistically a nightmare, that this committee is meeting, then you have to go, you have to come back. And I think we agreed in cabinet, and it's a good decision. We reduced them into 2, one to do with governance, it has 11 ministries, the other one to do with production, it has 11 ministries. And I think it will work very well. Okay. And we'll have the first cabinet committee, I think, next week, and we'll be able to process all the agendas that are before us so that we can proceed to the cabinet. You
promised the people, or rather, during the campaigns, you used to say that when Raila Odinga came to the government, under the handshake arrangement with President Uhuru Kenyatta, that's when you lost the Jubilee government of second term. And you said you'd never allow Raila Odinga into your government. Now it appears he has quite a hand in it. Yeah. Is that a deal breaker for you? Well, I look at it differently. Only a fool doesn't change his mind.
we had President Uhuru Kenyatta, our fourth president, brought Raila to government and asked us to support Raila Odinga, which we, the people from the Mount Kenya region, were very unhappy about. And we disagreed with President Uhuru Kenyatta, and President William Ruto persuaded us that Raila is the one who has caused problems in government. He persuaded us, and he's a very persuasive leader, and we were persuaded. President William Ruto persuaded us that if we allow Raila Odinga to become president, this country will not move forward. And as a result, we disagreed with President Uhuru Kenyatta and rejected Raila Odinga and gave our vote to President William Ruto. So when we came into office, it was my agreement with President William Ruto that we will not allow Raila into government. But along the way, my boss, President William Ruto, changed his mind. And he is a boss. And in this situation, Sam, we are not in a co-presidency. I'm just a principal assistant to the president. What he says is what carries the day, and I don't argue with him. I may have reservations, and I raise it with them. He persuades me many times. Other times he overrules me. And when I realized that he started having a relationship with Raila Odinga, I slowly gave way, because the boss is always right, you know, and that is why many people say, oh, Rigathi Gachagua, he had said he has put traps in State House so that Raila Odinga has not come. Yeah, that was my agreement with President William Ruto. But that is not my house. The minute I realize they are meeting, they are interacting, I'm also not a stupid person, and I don't have to be told, you know, in black and white. I relaxed, and I stopped even attacking Raila Odinga, and I let the president have his way. So by the time he decided to bring him into government, I had already formed an opinion that the president wants to work with Raila Odinga, and I was quite happy with it. In any case, my brother and long-time confidant, President Uhuru Kenyatta, had told us that Raila is a good man. President William Ruto convinced us otherwise. And we abandoned our son Uhuru Kenyatta, and we decided to go with President William Ruto. Now President William Ruto has told us exactly what President Uhuru Kenyatta had said, that Raila is a good man, we can work with him. If two presidents says a man is good, who are you to argue with him? So we have said, Raila Odinga is a good man, and let's work with him. Let's make him part of our political process, and let us build the country together. And I want to say, myself and my political base, the Mount Kenya region, have no problem whatsoever with Raila Odinga. In fact, what people are saying, and it's very interesting, they are saying a Mount Kenya king does not pronounce himself twice on a matter. Our son, President Uhuru Kenyatta, had pronounced himself on this matter. So that pronouncement carries the day. As we stand today, me and the mountain people are quite happy with Raila Odinga, and we don't have a problem with him whatsoever. And I can tell you, because it's important that I say so, myself and the mountain people feel very bad, that we punished Uhuru Kenyatta, we demeaned him, we told him off, we embarrassed him for telling us that Raila Odinga is a good man, and we were very, very brutal with him, and we really hammered him. It has come to our knowledge that it was very unfair, because his crime was to tell us that Raila Odinga is a good man, and we decided that Raila Odinga is a bad man, William Ruto is a good man. Now that President William Ruto has said Raila is a good man, that is why I apologize to Uhuru Kenyatta and his family. And I owed him an apology on behalf of the community, because what he had told us is what the president has told us. We had no business fighting him. We had no business disrespecting him. We had no business humiliating him. Right. So myself and the community, you know, owe Uhuru Kenyatta an apology. And I give that apology on behalf of the community. Okay. You know, and we said, you know, we know, because that's what he had told us. And we were very unfair to him because, so, you know.
Knowing what you know today, would you have made a different decision if you knew that in 2022?
Well, you cannot talk backwards. You know, I can't say what we would have done or not done, but things keeps on changing. Yeah, but now we are saying everybody is good.
You've said that once the king pronounces themselves, the pronouncement stands. Does that mean Uhuru Kenyatta is still the king of the mountain?
Oh, yes, yes. You didn't know? Uhuru Kenyatta is the undisputed king of the mountain.
And what is your relationship with him?
Good. Brotherly.
When did you do that?
Oh, we talk. You know what happens with our community? We are a very interesting community. We don't fight. We fight very... We patch up.
So
we
when was that?
Oh, yeah,
How many months ago? Which month? Which year?
We've been, when we realized we made a mistake, I'm the one who made the first move of reaching out and apologizing, because really we were unfair to Uhuru Kenyatta. You know, we were very, very unfair. You know, sometime I really feel very bad that I was so brutal. And when we do, a man who was my girlfriend, my kinsman, my confidant, and his crime was only one, saying Raila is a good man. And then the man I said, we don't want Raila Odinga, we want William Ruto. Then he comes and says the same thing. I felt very stupid, you know. In fact, another day, a very senior person abused me at the airport and called me stupid 5 times. And I looked at it, I was very bitter, but I looked at it later at night, and I thought probably he was right. I think I was stupid to fight my own brother, my kinsman, my confidant, for no good reason, for saying another person is a good man. I really regret what I did, and my community does regret, and we are very apologetic to the Kenyatta family. And what happens in my community is a saying that making a mistake is not bad, but repeating is unforgivable. And by the way, let me tell you some. From the experience of my community, myself and the leaders and the whole community fighting Uhuru Kenyatta, our son, a decision has been made by the community. In fact, it's a covenant. Never again shall the people of the mountain ever fight their own.
When was that decision made?
You know, the people, the Meru, the Embu, you know, they just talk slowly. That has been agreed on. And that's why you find when a few leaders are being told to fight Rigathi Gachagua, they are finding it very difficult, because a decision has already been made.
When?
That, like almost a year ago.
By who?
By the community.
In what forum?
Don't worry.
There are millions.
You don't know our people.
There are millions of people.
Our people don't talk in meetings. They have a way of communicating. That is how they drove the British out of this land, you know, by communicating silently. There is a covenant among the Mount Kenya people that they will never again, ever